What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the Qtip, and we're back with another video. We are back with another edition of Qtip's Corner. Before we start that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you've been feeling about Qtip's Corner, the segment. Let me know what you want to see more of. And just let me know what you think about the content in general. But let's get straight to it. Karlie Samuelson is my 6th edition of the Qtip's Corner. It's a little bit more unconventional because she didn't finish the season and it wasn't like a career year or anything like that for her, just because obviously she didn't get to finish the season. But this is more of like a complete journey, more than just like this season, which I've done that with a few players. Like Lee Rue was based off of this season, but also dated back to a couple of her past seasons. Same with Kayla McBride. So Karlie Samuelson has gone through, I don't know, I feel like there may be like 3 or 4 other players that can say that they've had the kind of journey that Karlie Samuelson has had. And that just goes to show how much she loves the game of basketball, how much she loves to play at a high level, and the kind of competitor she is, because a lot of people would get cut as many times as she has and, you know, just play overseas or go into coaching. And I'm not saying that, you know, there's anything wrong with that, but her dream of being in the WNBA has never wavered, and it's super commendable, like super commendable, because again, a lot of people after the first or second, even third cut, like it gets to a point of like it's just mentally draining. And I'm sure it still was, but again, that goes back to the perseverance thing of like her just being so determined to ultimately get to where she wants to get to and be there, and not just like, oh, for a hardship contract or just a 10-day contract, like to be there on a team full season. For those that don't know, she was undrafted in 2017 out of Stanford. There's a reason I put this on today. She played 3 preseason games with LA in 2017 before she fractured her left foot. So she was let go after that. And then she made the team in 2018, averaged 4 minutes a game, appearing in 20 games, and then was waived in training camp in 2019 by them. She was brought back later on in the season. Then she played 4 games with Dallas late in that season. They kept her on the contract, and then she was waived before the season, as was her sister Katie Lou, who was one of my favorite players as well. Played at UConn. Then she went back to Los Angeles in 2021, then was released in August, signed with Seattle, where she was teammates with Katie Lou again. And then in May of 2022, the Mercury signed her to a hardship contract. The hardship contracts are when teams don't have enough players due to injuries, and they're able to pick up players until those injured players come back, and then those players that were brought in have to be released, like I mentioned earlier with the first edition of Haley Jones. So then the Sparks signed her again in 2023. She played 34 games, had a career year, and then she signed with the Mystics in 2024, and that was her 18th contract in the WNBA. 18th contract. She was undrafted in 2017. So from 2017 to 2024, she had 18 different contracts. And this was the first one that was for an entire season. This is the first one that wasn't a training camp deal, hardship contract. This was a full season, guaranteed contract. She made them look very smart in picking her up. She played 29 games. She had career highs across the board. 2023, she had a great season. As far as like shooting the ball, she averaged 7 points. That was her career high at that point. Shot 46% from the floor, 42% from 3, 94 from the free throw line, on 5 shots a game. Then in 2024, when she signed with the Mystics, she averaged 8 points a game, which is now her career high, 41% from the floor, 30. I'll give her 40% from 3 because she shot 39.8, and then 92% from the free throw line again. So super efficient, super smart basketball player, knows where to be, and her being that kind of player meant she would be able to be on a team that is looking to contend, which is what the Minnesota Lynx did. They traded for her in the offseason, well, actually during the draft. I want to say she was on a plane when she got traded. If I'm not mistaken, I think she was on a train or on a plane when she got traded. But there's a few players that's happened to, so I'm not completely sure. This season was a little bit disappointing, and I don't mean because of her play. I mean more so like her getting injured and not being able to finish out the season, because I think she could have been a big piece to this team, to the team that eventually did not get back to where they wanted to go to. Her numbers don't look the same as the past couple of years, but her role changed on this team. Her shot numbers changed. Like her number of shots per game drastically dwindled, and she wasn't even a player that got a ton of shots before that. Like the most shots she's gotten this season was 6.7 with the Mystics. In this season, she shot 2.6 per game. So there are games where she shoots 2 shots. There's games where she shoots 1 shot. There's games where she shoots 4 shots. There's games where she shoots 3 shots. It's very difficult to go out and if you get 2 shots, make one of those shots. It's very difficult to go out and get 1 shot and you have to make one of those shots. So her percentages don't look as good, but I don't think that's an indicator of the shooter that she is or the player that she is, because she shot the 3-ball well every year that she's been in the league. In 2021, she shot 48% from the floor in 11 games. So she's been a great shooter. She's always been a great competitor, always been a great teammate, a good leader. Overseas, she's got 6 different championships she's won. She won 2 with Katie Lou. She was the Euro Cup Finals MVP in 2024. So she is able to play a bunch of different roles. She's able to be exactly what you need her to be on the floor. With the Mystics, they needed her to do a little bit more offensively. She was capable of doing that and doing it efficiently. 2023 with the Sparks, they needed shooting. She did that. With the Lynx this year, they needed someone that was going to be there if Kayla McBride was hurt, which she wasn't hurt, but she didn't play the start of the season. So Karlie Samuelson stepped in. She also could play the Bridget Carlton role, which I think she did well in the times that she was able to, or that she was on the court still. And a good defender as well. She's a very solid defender. Like I said earlier, she's a player that competes at a high level. So she may not be the most physically imposing or the most athletic, but she's going to do everything that you need her to do, everything you ask for, and more, honestly. I think the injury was really sad because she does play so hard and she has worked so hard to get to this moment. So seeing that was definitely frustrating and heartbreaking to see. And then I follow her on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, and I forget the other, I think it's Substack. Just following her journey from being injured. She broke her foot this season. Sorry if I didn't say that before. She broke her foot this season, and she's been working her way back to just walking, which a lot of people don't think about when you think about players getting injured and things like that. But not only is this their livelihood, and it's a little bit different for WNBA players, it's everyday life. You know, she's been going around on a scooter for the last, she got hurt in June. I think the last game she played was like June 29th. So she got hurt end of June, early July. Not to mention after she got hurt, she was traded to Dallas and then waived. So that's a whole another wave of emotions that you have to deal with as an athlete. Get hurt and then you get traded. But just seeing her journey and seeing her go through the different hurdles that she's been able to get through, and now her most recent video, she was starting to walk. She's been walking on one of those treadmills where you don't put your full weight, like there's something around them that doesn't put their full weight down, but she was able to walk on her own, and that's huge. That's big. I mean, I think it's like 13, 14 weeks since the surgery, since she got hurt. So this is really just a way of showing, like, whatever you're going through, whatever you're trying to fight through, just fight. Just keep pushing, because there are people everywhere that are going through all kinds of crazy things that we don't really think about on a daily basis. And we may feel like, hey, like, why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to me? And it could literally happen to anybody on any given moment. And it's not about why it happened to me. It's how can I make the best out of the situation? How can I push through this situation so that when I get back to where I want to be, I can look at that situation and be like, okay, that needed to happen. Or I feel better that happened now that I know this is what I can get through. This is what I can push through. And her being able to get through so many different hurdles since she left Stanford just continue to keep her ready for moments like this, unfortunately. And again, like, it's still a really hard thing to go through. She struggled. She's talked about her struggles going through it. But being able to jump through the hurdles and jump through the hoops that she's jumped through since 2017 put her in the position to be able to figure out what she needed to do and to attack this all head on. And she's still going to be a great basketball player. She's still going to be a great human being. I hope that somebody is going to pick her up next year. I don't know what the timetable is for her injury. I'll know that more by closer to next season. But I absolutely love Karlie Samuelson's game. I have been a huge supporter. I mean, I'm sure Bryce is tired of hearing me talk about certain players, and she's one of the players that's on the list that, like, it doesn't matter if she's averaging 4 points a game or eight points a game. I'm like, hey, Karlie Samuelson is one of those players that, like, if you're watching the game and she's on the court, like, she just sticks out. She stands out because that's how hard she plays. She makes plays. She makes winning plays. I have tons of tweets from going back to like 2021 of like just kind of advocating for her to be on the team and stay on the team, and just trying to make sure that, you know, because a lot of players in the WNBA, they see a lot of what is posted. So sometimes I'm posting things, so I'm hoping that they see it, so they feel like, okay, somebody notices like what I'm doing, somebody notices how hard I'm working, and things like that. And even with, you know, NBA players too, like there's some NBA players that I'm sure get online and see a bunch of hate and a bunch of stuff that, you know, just kind of like puts them in a bad mental space. And I'm always trying to be one of those people that, like, I don't really try to tweet out anything that's like super negative about athletes or anything like that, because I'm not in their situation. I can't do what they do, so there's no reason for me to do it. Now, I will say I get you know, frustrated sometimes with certain players if they're on my team, but it's never from a personal standpoint of just like this player sucks or this like whatever. But I'll put some of the tweets up, so that y'all can see them and see what kind of like player that I believe she was even 3-4 years ago when she still wasn't on a full contract. Again, I'm super hopeful that she'll be able to get back to a space where she can contribute to a team and can be on a team on another contract that's fully guaranteed. And again, the highlight reel, her highlight reel will be up on my TikTok. I'll put that in the description, so if you guys want to check that out, it'll be up there. And yeah, man, just let me know what y'all feel about this video. Let me know what you feel about the past videos, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and keep tapping in with me. Thank you.